Hello, everybody. Once again, I am Lehman Crafton, aka Zorval Less Than Guru, and we're doing, I believe, day 10 of the 31 day character challenge, so almost a third of the way through. And I will be doing the first edition of 7th Sea today. 7th Sea is a game that I played at a con when it first came out, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Of course, 7th Sea is based on the rules are very close and based off of L5R, which I loved for about two years, playing and game mastering. And the 7th Sea at that time didn't quite appeal to me as much as L5R. And I didn't buy the book. I did play, like I said, at a con, and then later, my group. I lived quite a ways away. At that time, I was probably 90 minutes to 2 hours away from the group that I played with. So I didn't go every week to play, and they played a lot, I believe, of 7th Sea, and I would come in and kind of make a character, and I really can't remember the character that I made, but I remember. Are there dragons in this world? Because for some reason I do remember like jumping on the back of a dragon or trying to, at least attempting to. So that might be something else, but I just remember it being the swashbuckling pirate and that type of game. Mars hears me talking until I start playing. I guess I can let him stay here. But a few years ago. In my Sunday group that I started playing with, and I did Earth Dawn previously as a 31 character day challenge, and that Earth Dawn game had to kind of end. And after that, one of the players she decided to game master 7th Sea, and so I finally broke down and bought the book, and got a pretty good. Copy of the book. It does have that kind of same problem that L5R does, where the binding doesn't hold up very good, but I haven't used this as much as I used my L5R book, so it's still in pretty decent shape. But at that point, I actually got into my character a lot, and sadly, the game master and her husband moved to a different state. And while I was doing Torg on one Sunday, and she was doing 7th Sea on the alternating Sunday, I quickly adapted to Roll20 because I had played Roll20 before, and she was having a little more trouble. And then, life comes along, so we kind of prematurely ended our 7th Sea game. So that was kind of sad. It was right around the time when second edition, I found out about second edition, but we had already made characters at that point. So we had kind of stuck with the first edition. I do have the second edition book, and I kind of need to reread it. I remember reading it and it being quite a bit different than this one, but still very interesting. And when I'm making my character today, I don't have a character generator, so I might make some mistakes and forget some rules and stuff, because while this is really close to L5R, it is not the same. There was enough changes between the games. I think you probably, because the way my mind works, I could probably run L5R characters with 7th Seas characters and not have too much of a problem, but I would not really understand the rules so much. I would be doing more of the L5R type ways that things work, but and each of instead of having these, I think they call them traits here, instead of having each one broken down into two, they just have them as one. So I don't know how advancement would work between the two. But I do think you could probably use one or the other and make a way to do both the European Renaissance type fighting and then the samurai type from L5R work. work okay together. Like I said, I've mixed different editions of D&D with Palladium, with Adventure Quest, things like that. So it is about 5 minutes, so let's try to actually make a character. And again, I try to briefly go over the rules to kind of figure out how to make the character, and hopefully it won't take me that long, but who knows. So I do know that you get 100 hero points to start off with. So right off the bat, I can't remember what the L5R was, but I remember it being something different. I don't remember counting a full 100 points. And I do want to make a swordsman. For some reason, in L5R and in this game, the magic really never took me as much as the fighting styles. Other games, I do like playing mages, so it's not like I'm always just like a fighter or a rogue type character. Some games I really like playing wizards, and other games I don't. And these two systems both had magic schools and stuff that I didn't quite get into. So I'll be making a swordsman. So I already kind of got that figured out. I will say my one character that I really got into was Montaigne, which were kind of like the French. But had I not played that character and had not another person played a Castile, I probably would have played a Castile. So that's what I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to make up a character that's a Castile that would have been like, if that character, if we would have lasted and that character would have died, who I would have came up with type thing. So I'll go ahead and minus 25 because I know if I play a Castile from whatever their school is, then that's 25 points and left over. So when I see swordsman school, and I printed off the swordsman, what I want to say, the swordsman character sheet. Oh, I did also remember this is where you put your dice to figure out how many actions you got, which I did think was a pretty interesting mechanic that was different than the L5R, but it was something that I kind of like. You kind of just set your dice on each one, and then when it was that number to act, you could act or something along those lines. Again, I played it too briefly. It was a game that I was getting into. The adventure that the Game Master did was nice. We didn't have as much of the country versus country or clan versus clan or house versus house that all the other games that break up, that in my opinion break it up into you're either the stereotype or the black sheep, and it's basically that's what you have to be. And the one that we were going on wasn't quite as bad. That the countries and stuff were taking a back seat to the adventure that we were going on. So I really enjoyed that. I have a little microfiber cloth that I'm using as a bookmark. This is the one spot, or one of the spots, the one spot in the game where the binding kind of broke, and I'll need to glue that inside. Again, glue on the inside of the book, tape on the outside of the book if you know that. But basically it's right before all the character creation thing. So the first question is sorcery. Do you want it or not? Right here, step one, sorcery. Nope, already talked about it, not wanting it, but I do want a swordsman school. So Castile is Aldana. And I know there's probably a reason why they make it cost 10 points more. If you go like, if I wanted to be from Montaigne, but go to the Aldana school, it costs like 10 more. And it was like that in L5R too. It costs more points to do it. And I don't know, maybe there's a min-max reason for it, but that was one of the things that always got me, that you're either you're stereotyped into the country, into the school, or you're having to spend points to be the black sheep. And that's one of the things that I would change. If it was a min-max thing, maybe I wouldn't care or see that it was maybe something minor or something like that. But it would be something that I would just say, be from any country, be from any school, and you're not working for your country, you're not working for your school, you're working for this other thing that you've all been, as a group, been hired for. I remember this game has a lot of archaeology because I can't remember anything about my first character at all, except for she was like an archaeologist, and I do kind of remember that aspect. So I don't think she was even in a school or magic, and I just had made an archaeologist for it. But I do remember that type of stuff. So you have that type of exploration and discovery going on, so you could all be working for the same type of company, and your country and your school could be important for you as a character background, and other people could look at you, NPCs look at you and say, hey, you're from this country, and have stereotypes against you. But when it starts to become party focused, that's where I don't like it. And I'll just say I like the system. Like I said, I was really getting into my character, but when it starts messing with the party, when you're in L5R and nobody likes you because you're a scorpion, and they know that you're doing dirty-handed stuff, or they think you're just all high and fluting because you're Crane, and when each party member has something against everybody else that isn't from their side, and if somebody is from your side but they're breaking the mold, then you're against them for breaking the mold, and things like that. And even, like I said, it bleeds into everything. It bleeds into Ars Magica, where Flambeau want to blast everybody, the fairies. Oh, you're just a fairy mage, I'm just going to go against, I hate you, and I hate these animal mages because they don't even understand magic, and hedge mages are stupid, and this, house and this house, or, Vampire the Masquerade, which each of the bloodlines hate each other, and it makes when the party has tension to begin with. Not necessarily that party tension is always bad, but when it's basically forced on your group, and not because of actions that the character did against you, or some prejudices that are in your backstory, but just because you happen to choose this house, or this clan. It's all the same thing. If your group, I'll say, you haven't they're from a different group, so you automatically hate them for X reason. But that's my little rant. Let's get on with the character. So I'm doing a Castile. I'm going to do Aldana. So that's the name of the school. And I just, reading through it, remembered again, there's differences between skills and knacks. And, skills give you a bunch of knacks, I guess. And then that that's kind of like the skills from L5R. But I went ahead and I did that. I don't have to worry about sorceress heritage. I picked my school. Now I'm going to get my traits. So you can't get any trait above a 3. It costs 8 hero points to raise it. And I do think that was really close to what the L5R was, if I can remember a few days ago, which doesn't always happen if I'm not super into a game. My memory is strange. I will remember rules from 20 years ago, and then one day I wake up and I've forgotten them. Or if I've only played a game a little while, I will dig into the rules. I will know the rules really, really well, unless I completely dislike the system. But then, if I haven't played it for 3 months, I'll forget them all. And sadly, the 7th Sea is one that I just kind of basically remember because of all the L5R stuff, and trying to remember some of the differences between them. But it's just one of those things that if I just made this character and went to sit down and play it, I would probably have to be thumbing through this book constantly. If I was doing something like Adventure Quest or Palladium or Torg, well, I do Torg now, so I'm talking about systems that I haven't played for decades. I could jump right into those and have no problem, or basic D&D have no problem. And it's just weird, kind of that way my brain tends to work. And there's sometimes where I might play a game this week and then come back the next week and have completely forgotten things, or it takes me 8 months to remember it, and then I remember it. So just all types of weird stuff going on. So it looks like Castile get a +1 to finesse. So I remember you fill in the little, and I always liked games where you got to fill in dots. At least making characters, even in Vampire, which I don't have the book or anything, but I remember filling in dots, and that was the fun part of Vampire to me, or Werewolf, and all the other type of games, or even in BattleTech when you have your mech and you fill in the points that you don't have, so you're reducing your mech's damage capacity. So finesse was the speed, agility, high hand-eye coordination. That's right. The Montaigne got the panache, which gave you extra dice to do stuff. So bonus to after you spend points on traits, add 1 free rank to 1 trait as determined by your nationality. This may increase that to 4. Notice the pirates must still determine their nationality. Okay, well, I'm not being a pirate or anything, so I know I want to be kind of a glass cannon, so I'm really not going to look forward to that. Oh, all heroes begin with rank 1, so I guess I should do that. And the little, what do I want to say, the Castile adding the 1 is supposed to be at the end, but I don't see a difference because it's just 8 points to raise them at each. So, what is resolve? As a measure of Schiller's willpower, determination. Okay, so I do want 3 in finesse, so I'll write my little 8 there. And then I do want maybe 2 in panache to get that up to a 3. So that's going to be 16. So that's going to be 3 more. I'll put little ticks next to it so I can just times it by 8 at the end. So I got 24 points. I want 1 resolve, 1, so that's 5, and then let me go ahead. So let me get 6. 6 times 8 is 48. So 48, and then 7, 6, so 27 points left, I guess. Purchasing skills and knacks. I think you get some skills with the swordsman's thing, so I wish they would have put that first, or knacks, sorry, your swordsman skill, or swordsman school, I believe gives you knacks from what I was looking at. And then if you get like a skill and you get a knack with it, then that adds together some strangeness. And if I say strangeness, it's not that I'm saying that I don't like the aspect of the game. I'm just saying that I don't understand it right now because it's been a long time since I played the game. It's been a few years. So, actually, that's an A, so it probably is actually the first school. Yep, first school. Okay, so I'm looking to let you see. I'm looking over here and trying to find the mechanics. So the swordsman knacks. So I think I write those down here. And I get feint, which is fencing. Repose. Fencing. And again, I'm having to write sideways because of camera angle. Tagging. Is that the Zorro thing? I think that's the Zorro thing. Where you like cut a piece of their clothes or something like that. Exploit weakness. Okay, and then as an apprentice, I roll 1 unkept die for initiative for each mastery level. So is there an initiative? Down here I can pull plus 1k0 initiative. So I guess whatever, I think you roll your panache, so I would roll like one more and then determine which 3 dice I would put down here. I could be completely wrong, but again, I'd just imagine that I just super briefly looked at rules for the first time in my entire life, and that's kind of what I'm going as. That's kind of what the thing I'm going for here is. So then, these I believe all get 1. And I would have to read the rule, but it's probably something, I don't know, is it, do each of these add up to something like that? And then one's keeping and one's rolling, and you add them together and you keep them roll. I know there's a thing here, maybe in the front, that's like, what is the difference between this and L5R? Instead of rolling a ring plus skill, you normally roll a trait plus a knack. So, I don't know, if finesse is fencing, maybe it's still... Let's see, when you roll to see an action is successful, we'll list the number of dice you'll be rolling, A plus B. For if you're trying to hit a flying bird, it's finesse plus attack, firearms. You gain total whenever you roll a trait plus... You always keep the number of dice equal to the trait. Okay, so for like this one, your trait would be 4, so I would roll 5, I guess, and then keep the... And I guess that's where you might roll what it is, 5 plus... Keep 4? That seems like a lot to start off with, but maybe not. Okay, so we got that down, so I got 27 points to spend. I know I didn't want any of the weird arcana and stuff. Again, if I say weird or strange, it's just because... I didn't give it a lot of look, a lot of understanding. If I was actually making a character for a campaign, I'd probably make something quick like this to begin with, so that whenever I needed to play, I would have a character. But if there was enough time between making the character and playing for the first time, I would probably go through the book with a fine-tuned, comb, just trying to comb through everything and make sure that I didn't make a completely horrible character. So there's various skills. Okay. Spy, streetwise, hunter. I think it was 2 points to purchase a skill. So let's get spy, streetwise, and hunter. Maybe this will be kind of maybe a bounty hunter type character. And even with the hunter, some of these are kind of, what I want to say, actual, like, animals, but other ones could be in kind of anything. So this would be 2, 4, 6, so I'm down to 21. So let me see what knacks come with these, because I think you have to spend points to get knacks too. 1 for what they considered a basic knack, and 3 for a higher one. So hunting's the first one here. So it says I begin with 3 of the following at rank 1, and then I can also purchase additional at rank 1 for 1 hero point each. So what I want here is I want to get the stealth. Oops. what I want to get here is the stealth, the survival, and the tracking. So those will be the first three that I get, and they just get some ones. Stealth. Oops, I can't even. Right. Stealth, survival, tracking, and those are all at one, so I get to color my one. And then I had spy and streetwise, so those would probably be further down. Spy, looks like I get two, shadowing and stealth. Now I already have stealth, so those will add another one. So no matter where I look, it's the same thing. And then streetwise, socializing and street navigation. Socializing, street nav. Okay. Look at some of these advanced. Scrounging, shopping, underworld lore, bribery, conceal, cryptography, disguise, forgery, hand size, interrogation, lip reading, poison, and sincerity. Lip reading sounds good. That was under spy. So that's 3 points. So that's going to give me 18 left. Now I might actually want to focus on some of these skills and raise some of these skills. So I want to do each of these that came with my skill at least once. So that's going to be 4. And is it one point to raise or 2 points? Let's see. Skills. Purchasing skills. Not really telling me. Maybe if I go back to that first page and I look at skills and knacks. 2 points to purchase a skill. Increasing a rank of a basic knack costs 1 hero point. And an advanced costs 3 hero points. And you can't get it above 3. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That gives me a 10 left. 8. Oops. 8. 9. If I get shadow. One, 2, 3, 4. So that gives me 5 more points. Should I pick another skill? Martial skills? Riding, ride. That would be 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think one point left over. I'm gonna have to increase something. Not above a 3, it says. So, Oops, I increased my tracking down here instead of stealth, so let me take one of those tracking away. So I think I got all of my stuff there down. So I didn't want any backgrounds. I didn't want any of the virtues or hubrises. Let's see, I get a, and I won't get into the, I didn't want any of the advantages. I did, well, where was the starting gear, I think it had somewhere. So, determining hero wealth here, I didn't pick any of the special things, so I get a die of guilders. I believe all the dice in this is D10. So that, can you see that? 5? So halfway. I don't see a place, so I'll just write here, guilders, 5 guilders. Like I said, I won't get into the minutia of equipment. I think anybody who's ever played any type of role-playing game knows how to get starting equipment. But the one thing I do want to do is it says that I can get a set of clothes and a single weapon. And I can find 166 to 167. And one of the things I did read was the Castile. They use only the one weapon, and they kind of turn sideways with the other hand behind their back. So I'm not worried about getting an offhand weapon accessory, weapons and armor. And is this one of the games that the weapon and armor is going to have a different place for the buying and the stats? And I believe so. Please, role-playing books, if your items have stats, put it in the same place that you buy the item, so I only have to look for it in one place. I don't have to divide my time. I gotta. Is this a game unlike L5R that all weapons maybe do the same? I don't remember. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, like I did L5R when I'm trying to figure out things, I'm gonna pause the video. I'm gonna try to find where the damage dice for weapons are, and then come back and tell you, unless maybe it's in the index. Let me quickly look for weapons table 21 and 188. Okay, here we do. Nope, different weapons have different amounts. So fencing swords have 2k2. So that is the weapon of choice that I want. It's just they don't divide them up into like rapiers and epées and foils and stuff. To hit. Oh, okay, so that would be my, probably this 3 plus 4. That just seems so much. 7, keep 4. 2k, 2. And I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So I know something like brawn against how many flesh wounds you take, which is the damage. So there's not that wound progression like L5R. I guess I could have put, like, it says defensive knack, so the riposte, I think, would be defensive. But not something that I would have to take more look on. So I did find the weapon rule faster than I thought, so I didn't have to pause anything. So really, and this looks like maybe it's a back of a character sheet. I guess this one here has place for the names. This here doesn't, and this is for swordsman. That's funny. When I was doing this, I was thinking that since this had sorceress heritage, this would be for wizards, and the one with the swordsman school would be for the swordsman, and the one without anything would be for if you're, like the archaeologist type explorer. But apparently I was very wrong, because here it even says civil skills and martial skills. So, oh well, I think the character sheet could have been a little more well done, because they don't have the little dice on the back. So, I don't know. I don't think there's really a need for 2 swordsman skills. You can always make one of these, and it's weird to have, well, I guess if martial and the other were civic. So, oops. I can just write my name up here. So, I will... Sebastian will be his name, and I'm Lehman, and he is Castile swordsman. So this is my 7th C quick Sebastian, the Castile swordsman, and hopefully I made the character halfway right, at least how I read it today, and how I somewhat remember it. But this is a game that I would not mind either playing this form again or the 2nd edition. I think when I read the 2nd edition, there were parts in it that I thought were rather interesting and cool. Let me get the camera back. There we go. So, 7th C character, 10th day, and the character creation challenge. I am Lehman Crafton, Junior aka Zorvalachan Less Than Guru, and you're obviously seeing that I am Less Than Guru on 7th C, a game system that I did like, and I really got into my character and had a fun time with this, but it was a few years ago, so I won't say I moved on. I just have been doing other things. Again, this would be a game that I would be interested in playing, either this edition or 2nd edition. But until then, you can like, you can dislike, you can subscribe. Thank you. I got a couple of subscribers within the last week. And until next time, I will catch you later.